Welcome to the 5% challenge on the Moon Train. And if you're new to the channel, make sure that you check out the Moon School. You check out daily recaps under Moon TV and the market analysis videos, and join us in the chat as well. And the restaurant cart and everything else. Anyways, I'm going to run through the setup for the 5% challenge, when I'll be taking the trades, and what the idea behind it is. First of all, the idea is this, and you've heard it many times: just trade one setup and you will be successful. This is by far the most hard thing when it comes to trading. And I've traded for years and I still sometimes lose my discipline. So I really wanted to do this challenge for myself. And the premise for this whole thing is, forget about the money. It's not about the money. I will be going full amount every time. So the idea is, you have a certain amount of money and you take that sum, you make 5% on it. You take the same amount, or you take the full amount every day and you aim for 5%. Now, I don't want to be in a situation where I'm doing any guesswork, so I have paired this with a certain setup, and I want to go through this setup with you right now because that's why you're here. The setup is the following. It is when the 5-minute 9 moving average crosses the 21 moving average. It is by far my favorite setup because it works. And I use the MACD as well. And for this challenge, I'll be looking for a MACD crossover confirmation. So as you see here, this is where the MACD crosses, but we still double bottom here. And this was pretty choppy here. But this is the initial balance box. Now, I'll be honest with you, any trade I take, I'm usually 5% green on it. So you might be asking, well, what's the point of the challenge? The point is, once you're up here and you're like, ooh, we can make it over the trend line, and then you're out here. So 5% might not seem like a lot, because it's not. The whole point of this exercise and this challenge is the discipline. Okay? Plus, people have a lot on their plates. I'm going to try to narrow this to a certain time. Now, obviously, on a sweet setup like this, if I can see that it keeps going, I'm going to hold longer than 5%, what I would refer to as runners. So let's say got $1,000, we're in at 1, I sell 4 of them after 5, and I'll hold a runner. I'll put a stop loss where I sold the rest. Therefore, the runner is free. And you can catch something extra. I'll be doing 1 of these per day, okay? And the setup I'm looking for is MACD confirmation, the STO RSI running up, the TTM squeeze flipping, and obviously the most important is this, okay? Now, this setup can be found many times. Here's another great example. There's the cross, there's the flip of the color, the STO is up, and the MACD is curling up, okay? And we can go on and on. Here is another example, not as good, but still a valid, this is still 5%. So we won't be sitting in these trades. These will be what's called scalp trades. And I want the goal of this to be that we are so sure about the setup that we don't care about the money. Because once this starts accumulating faster and faster and faster, and I'm sure we're going to do more than 5% a day, it will really add up, and it will reach a point where, okay, I don't feel comfortable about slapping a huge amount of money on this trade. And that can then be, that's an individual decision. I'm going to try to take this as long as I can. But again, and I've played it a lot. It takes a certain type of mind frame to slam, five figures on something, you know. But again, that shouldn't be the premise of the challenge. It's all about this setup. TTM squeeze, which is a free indicator on TradingView, free. Stow RSI, free. MACD, free. And the moving averages are free. So here, great example. You got the Stow coming up. MACD has crossed. There's a flip. This was actually 40%. This was not 5. So the setup works. What's sucky about it is that you have to wait for it. But that's where I come in, obviously, because I'll be eyeing for it. Usually, we have this either in the morning or at the end of the day. Okay? So, predominantly, I will be looking at, and I'll explain here. This is the time window on my end. 30 minutes into power hour. What is power hour? Power hour is the last hour of the day. Okay, lately power hour has completely sucked balls, but regardless. 30 minutes into power hour, and then the last 30 minutes, here's a great example. Okay, why? 0 DTEs on most brokers expire. So they know that these lotto players are mentally in a pattern where they will be buying him into end of day. That's why there's no action at power hour. It's either leading in or the last half an hour. Here's the setup again. TTM flip, Stow up, MACD cross. What happens when the 9 moving average crosses the 21? We go up. Okay. Now again, this was a where did the cross happen here? 446.85 to, you know, that's $1 and great dollar move. This we would play with the next day's contracts, easy 5%. So this opportunity presents itself every day. And what is the reason? The reason is, look, you can sit through this chop, you can look at other tickers. This setup works. Every time it presents itself with the right combination, which is a MACD flip, Stow strong, and the TTM crossover or flip, and this crosses over, the market goes up. Okay? The sucky part is waiting and anticipating it, and then actually committing to the trade. So when I'm looking for this in the challenge, you know, it takes me some time to jump into the trade, and I can't be typing. So I'll be saying, look, it's looking good that we might be getting our move. Okay? And I'm only aiming for 5%. I'll be taking more than 5%. Trust me. But the point is that mentally you are not allowed to think about the money, because when you're looking at this setup and you're like, shit, do I really want to put $5,000 on this? But it's worked up until then. Why wouldn't you? So from the start, it's not about the money. It's about the setup. And I really want to nail this home. Study the setup, because the more of us that are looking at it, the more successful this trade will be if someone sees that 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't line up. Okay? When they all line up, this pattern works. And I've proved it to myself many, many times, and I'm always looking for it. And I really hope that it comes and then it doesn't and all this. So this is the premise for the whole thing. And I'm telling you, if you can nail this discipline down, it's going to be life-changing, because the money will accumulate if you follow the pattern. If you just play the pattern when you see it, it's going to be a winner. Okay? And imagine, you know, it's either open or it's closed. You know, if you're hanging out in the chat during the day and you see it, boom, take it. But what I want to do is I want to change everybody's thinking. It's really easy getting caught up in what's the market going to do. The market's going to do whatever it's going to do. But the market makers and the market needs these certain patterns to work. Okay? Now, obviously, we'll be checking the Dixie, the 10-year yield, and the VIX in support of this pattern. But this is the pattern we're out looking for. And imagine nailing this pattern every single day until Christmas. It'll be life-changing for you and your family. You'll know that you know something that can make you money from home or on your phone on the go, and you'll be making money doing it. So in my book, that's worth trying it. Right now, you can even start with $100, okay? Because if you can repeat this, which is very hard, I'm not gonna say easy. This is the hardest thing to do as a successful trader, is kill your FOMO, kill your, ooh, Tesla's running. No, I'm literally gonna be looking at SPY, maybe QQQ, to replicate this move over and over and over again. Boring, but necessary, okay? All about, can we as a collective replicate this move and gain the discipline we need not to jump on a train because our mind says so, or because we want to trade, or, you know, I think this is gonna go, okay? No, this pattern here works. I've traded it thousands of times, okay? It's when you stray from that you start paying your premiums to the market makers. So if you have any questions regarding this, post it in the 5% challenge chat and I will get to it. Okay? God bless. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're going to start next week.